Okay, Street Footbal World is a German organization which was created in Berlin in 2002, but the history is much before than this. It comes from 94, I think it was a benchmark in our history. Once Andrés Escobar, which is a Colombian football player, he scored a counter goal in the World Cup in the US.
Yes, we remember.
You remember that? So once he came back to Colombia, he was killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because after a discussion about football and his goal. So in that time, the founder of Street Footbal World was living in Colombia. He's German, but was living there. And then he tries to think with other people how we can use the power of football, you know, all this energy around football for the good. Exactly. So he started to develop with other people there a project called Football for Peace.
Yes.
That was the beginning of a methodology that we use now that's called Football 3.
Aujourd'hui, on est venu assister à cet événement fait par Street Footbal World, cette association, cette ONG dont je vous parlais, qui rassemble plusieurs petites associations dans le but de promouvoir le développement par le sport. Et on est ici en présence de Nico Wieland. Hi Nico,
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you very much to be here with us today. Could you explain us a little bit what the event of today is about?
Sure. So we have here Marisa Cintra. She is one of the greatest freestyle footballers in Brazil. She won the Brazil Championship in 2012 and 2013. And we brought her here to show a little bit of the skills, but also to interact with children from social projects from Rio that use football to attract children and give them access to education, health, or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. You told me that the event of today, so it's about helping kids grow and develop with sport manners and with an ethic method. Could you talk to us about the different rules that you're about to set here?
Of course. After the freestyle session, we will play a special kind of football, which is called Football 3. And the special thing about this is that you play it with a discussion before the match and with a discussion after the match, which gives the kids the possibility to enter in a dialogue, to talk about their experience during the match, which is normally in professional football all the role of the referee. We don't play with a referee, we play with our own rules, so the kids can create their own rules. For example, goals have to be scored by girls, or if you foul someone, you have to help them up.
Okay, so it's a way of responsibility.
Exactly, it's to give them the game in their hand and then they can do something with it. And in the end, the final discussion is that they reflect what happened on the pitch and they can award the other team, for example, a fair play point, which then counts as a goal, and they can win the game also by showing positive behavior on the pitch. So
that's really amazing. Marisa Cintra, qui est championne 2012 et 2013 de freestyle football. Marisa, obrigado por estar acá con nosotros. ¿Cómo llegó usted al freestyle football?
Ok. É uma paixão muito grande, futebol, né? Futebol Brasil, enfim, no meu país que eu amo. E eu desde pequena fiz embaixadinha, que é o básico, embaixadinhas, juggles. E o freestyle eu descobri pela internet, via vídeos e repetia em casa. Então tem que ter muita determinação, muita concentração, muita força de vontade E
Pra
aí a
trabalhar
gente chega,
sola.
sim, porque a bola cai toda hora, cai muitas vezes, é muita repetição. Então tem que ser persistente.
Muito
um
mental.
atleta.
Trabalhar.
Trabalhar muito, mente também e concentração, né? Então, com muito esforço, a gente consegue fazer tudo isso.
Quantas horas você trabalha por dia?
Sim, em torno de 2 a 3 horas por dia, mas depende muito da agenda. Se eu tenho muitas atividades, eu não treino muito.
Por supuesto.
E, enfim, e quando tem competição, aí eu treino mais. Mais
supuesto.
coisas difíceis para ter resistência suficiente,
Ahí
enfim.
está, tener la condición física.
Condição física,
Por
muito
supuesto.
importante.
¿Con qué otra disciplina se puede asociar el street football, el freestyle football? ¿Con danza, con música? ¿Es una forma de arte?
Sim, a música tem muita ligação, né, no freestyle. A gente acaba entrando na dança, digamos assim.
Sí.
Sim, entra no ritmo, né?
Sí, ya está.
E, bom, envolve a dança, até mesmo a alimentação conta muito. Você tem que respirar, você tem que ter a respiração certa, porque você perde o foco. Se você respira errado, sabe? São muitas coisas, muitos detalhes, né, que você conta para poder chegar num nível bom de freestyle.
¿Cuánto tiempo hace que usted está haciendo freestyle foot?
Eu treino há 7 anos e meio já.
7 años y medio.
Desde 2006 eu pratico freestyle.
Increíble. ¿Y cómo entró usted en conexión con SFW, el Street Footbal World? Organização, tá tudo isso?
Sim. Meus gerentes, né, meus assessores têm contato. Também trabalham com crianças de futebol de rua, que são o jogo em si, não é o freestyle, o jogo, onde o que conta mais é o drible. É uma caneta, é uma carretilha,
sim.
Não, o gol é o que menos conta.
Aí está.
Então é um trabalho em conjunto que envolve várias atividades, né? Eu sou do freestyle somente, às vezes arrisco no futebol, às vezes.
Hay algunos freestylers conocidos o jugadores que todo el mundo del fútbol conoce que os inspiran.
Sim, os jogadores diferente. Jogar futebol tem um treino diferente do freestyle.
Sim.
Mas os que chegam mais próximos de ser um freestyle é Cristiano Ronaldo, é Ronaldinho Gaúcho, Falcão do futsal e até mesmo Neymar, né, que é o ídolo atual aí. Ele tem muita facilidade, né? Ele tem facilidade, mas não chega a ser um freestyler ainda.
Ah, tá.
Ainda não.
Você todavía
Sim.
melhor freestyler que...
Sim, eu desafio qualquer um deles. Não...
Tá bom. Présence ici de Mirella qui est la coordinatrice basée ici au Brésil pour l'association. Mirella, hello.
Hello.
Thank you to
Ça
be
va?
with us. Ça va très bien, merci. Merci d'être avec nous aujourd'hui. Thank you to be with us today.
So the first half of the game was the discussion of the rules.
Okay. So
Yes.
they like they parlay about which rules is going to be applied to the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Like for example, the goal is just valid if all the players touch the ball. You know,
Okay.
such kind of rules. So the second half was for the game itself without a referee, but with the mediator just taking notes of all the parts of the games. And the third half was once they discussed it together if the rules that they discussed before were applied or not and why.
Okay, and that's what you are using here to
Yes,
get
that's
the responsibility to the players.
That's the main purpose of this methodology. And then after they they started to include women to play the game together.
Okay.
And they realized that once the groups were mixed groups with male and female, the violence inside the game was much less.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wasn't that brutal? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So this methodology has a very gender focus as well, because every time we play with mixed groups. And then this methodology was spread all over the world. It's played in Brazil since 2005.
Yes.
It's via some NGOs that are disseminating this in the country. And then apart from this, other methodologies that use football as a tool for development start to be implemented in many other places. So in 2002, Street Football World was created to unite in a global network these organizations. So now we have about 80 countries.
Eight countries?
Yes, and more than 100 organizations.
More than 100 organizations.
In these countries that belong to the Street Football World Network.
Okay.
So the purpose is really to unite them in a global network that they can exchange content and knowledge. And then also it's very important for the youth. We have many events that these youths, they exchange with other youth. Like for example, in the World Cup in 2-3 weeks, there are coming some youth to Brazil, to Rio, that they will attend the youth forum.
Okay, and from where, which country they come?
They come from 16 different countries.
16 different countries. Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing.
And then we have 32 young people here.
32.
Yes, discussing how we can use football for changing the world.
That's a really great project. We love the fact that the organization managed to get international, bringing several countries. It's really amazing how you guys can connect with each other to create something for the good, for the greater good.
Yes, and we believe very much that we need a team to win a game.
Yeah.
So that's our purpose, to really put people together to think and how we can change the world using football not as the main goal but as the tool for change the world.
Exactly.
That you can, with football, work with children and youth and bring about knowledge and exchange skills also that will be good for all their lives.
So we are in 2014. It's 12-year existence for Street Football World. What are the further goals that the organization wants to reach now in the couple of years coming?
Yes, here in Brazil we are established with an office since 2010, and then the main purpose is to strengthen a network of organizations that work in this field. So we did a mapping 2 years ago that identified that there are many organizations working with football as a tool for development in Brazil, but they didn't know each other. Even in the same city, they didn't exchange to each other. So we helped to create the learning community of football for development.
Okay.
So this learning community is the biggest Brazilian network of organizations that work with football as a tool for development. And then I think this is a very powerful way of putting people together. They exchange a lot. Now they are creating projects that, for example, we can see these mini pitches. This is an idea that was created by Instituto Formação in São Luís, in the northeast of Brazil.
Okay.
They implemented that because it's not just the mini pitch that you can set up very easily, but also the methodology they start to implement there.
Yes.
Working with very small children. For example, you can establish the rules with children that don't know how to read yet.
Okay.
So you have all drawings that they can, if it's in the end, did you like the game, you can hug each other, these kind of things. So we use this methodology that was created there.
We're here in Brazil. For many people, Brazil represents the essence, the aim of football. What can you tell us about football in Brazil?
I think football in Brazil is still seen as, of course, the main sports here. Everybody's crazy about football. But I think we can use the Olympics and the World Cup to bring visibility to the field of football as a tool for development. Because if it's the sports that people really like, why not to use this to change Brazil as well?
Yeah, of course.
And then you can make many projects and many a very good work, with children to bring about citizenship, and then we can use football as a tool for bringing these people together and also to spread this knowledge.
Of course. What can we wish you for this next month's event of yours here in Brazil?
I hope it works quite well, and then people see that everybody, we want to make a space that the Football for Equality Plaza is a place where everybody can play.
That's it.
This is the main reason. If you are a young girl, because in Brazil, even though people love football, it's not a reality that all the girls can play football, because they have to struggle even inside their families, because football is still seen as a male game.
Yes.
So I think everybody's very welcome to come to this place and enjoy and see that both male and female can play together, and then it should be reflecting how the society should look like, that everybody is equal. And then everybody, I think one thing that's really important, that the right to play sports in a safe and inclusive environment is a human right, It's inside the Constitution of Brazil and the Statute of Children and Teenagers. That's the law that regulates the children and teenagers here in Brazil. So this is a human right, and then everybody has to...
It has nothing to do with gender.
Yes, no.
And you would be pleased to know that for the first time in France, female coach has been named head coach of a second division football club in France.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So the mix is about to take.
Yes.
And maybe one day we'll have, with the football we know, with the football that the world knows by media, by the television. Maybe one day we'll have a mixed game, and it would be amazing.
For sure.
Thank you very much, Mirella. We wish you the best for your event. We wish you the best to extend your organization, and we'll be following you for the rest of the month here in Brazil, in Rio. And we look forward to have other amazing smiles and laughs over here. Thank you.
And thank you for coming.
Well, it's our pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you very much.